And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this fine Monday? It has been a hell of a goddamn week for me. I've been working so freaking hard. I've got to wait. Not that I really care if the streams are demonetized or not, because it's not like they make any money, but I'm still going to be good. Yeah, last week I got new flooring fitted because I'm apparently a grown-up, but it was just the worst. Had to take every goddamn item out of the kitchen, including a fridge, freezer, a washing machine that was heavier than God's arsehole, and an oven that was fine, and do everything else, and I was absolutely goddamn knackered. And then I had to do it all in reverse about 2 days later. And I was, not super happy. It was a lot of work. Flooring, yes. Got some nice flooring. It was high quality. Even the fitters went, dude, you ordered a nice one. I was like, yeah, I want something that lasts so I don't have to do this again. Anyway, no more forced ads. Can't stand T. Brady trying to sell me stuff. Wish that crypto scam actually worked out for him. I find it very weird. Okay, so if we're going to start with crypto is something I have a lot of opinions on. Like, I get the concept. The concept is technically fine. It's the fact that every fucking man and his dog seems to want to turn it into a scam, and it just baffles me. Because you get these people who have followings, get people that really like and care about them, and then they just scam their audience, and I find that really, really weird. As someone who, I want to say famously, but those who know, I don't do sponsorships, not out of any moral compunction, but just because I think the products are crap, and I can't bring myself to offer people crap. So I just end up not taking any, even if everyone tells me, oh, it's fine, no one cares, everybody does it, and there's like loads of money on the table. Just can't do it. But then I see these people and they just scam the shit out of their audience, and I'm like, I can't even do the stuff that's acceptable. I can't wrap my head around the idea of doing something so blatant and thinking that, I don't know, a lot of them seem to get away with it. I guess that's part of what fucking blows my mind, is you see your your Logan Pauls of the world who just do scam after scam after scam after scam, and he's still got a massive fucking audience, and none of them seem to give a shit. I'm sure some of them give a shit, but not enough to affect his bottom line, apparently. I find that super weird. You mean you don't want to be a totally legit and legal Scottish lord? I'm so mad about that. I wish it was... Because I saw that and I thought, oh, I could work with that maybe, because at least it's funny. At least I could play it into, oh, I'm so sick. But I never could do it because I thought, it's just a piece of shit though, isn't it? It's like, I don't really want to sell people on garbage. But I could think of a way to at least make it a meme, but never did it. And then I'm glad that I couldn't even do that, because then it came out and everyone's like, oh no, this is a piece of shit, and then I'd been a piece of shit by proxy. It's exactly that kind of stuff that makes me want to not do sponsorships, because it's just everything feels like a scam. If someone sells something, it's a scam. I don't know what to tell you. That's what it feels like. I'd like to... The only thing that I feel like would be good... Sir Sick branded gravy, or there'd be Mrs. Sick branded gravy with Sir Sick branded whiskey, and then there'd be a combo product. That seems to be the only thing that I could ever possibly sell. Sponsor shits, I mean, yeah. But again, it's never been like, I wish I could just not give a fuck. I would love, like, people have a go, not have a go, but it's so good to hear that you have such principles on the matter. It's like, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just how my brain works. It's terrible. I want to be rich. I want to be rich as fuck. That sounds great, but it's not going to happen. Only sponsored products I bought were Liquid Death and Hello Tushy, both from Puzzle in a Thunderstorm. What the hell is Hello Tushy? Is that like really expensive toilet roll? If it's not, then that's a fucking travesty. I seem to recall Liquid Death is it some spice thing or
Water.
It's what?
It's water.
Liquid Death is water.
Yeah.
I mean, life is liquid death, I suppose.
It's like sparkling water or some shit. It comes in a beer can.
Oh, that's kind of rubbish. I'd be really disappointed.
Yes, I was away from the microphone.
First time being live. What does TSTP stand for? There you go. You're welcome. It means the first things that I say in the stream every single time. You'll figure it out eventually. If I get an email or phone call, it's a scam. One of these days, I may get into trouble for ignoring important government documents like taxes or something. The government will always send it to you through snail mail. Like, that's one of the uses for snail mail is...
It's not even sparkling, it's just water.
It's just water.
Wow. I thought it was like sparkling.
Oh, man. So Liquid Death, it's just liquid.
It's like spring water, isn't it? But a lot of spring water's not actually spring water.
You can't even set sail on a sponsorship. I don't know what that means. It sounds very clever. Hey, Sick, do you ever take video recommendations? I take as many video recommendations as you're willing to go out and find for me. You just have to email them to me. You can find my email on my About section. It used to be a page, and now it's like part of the thing, but it's still there. Go to the main page of the YouTube channel, you'll find it. Worst, it's sirsickbusiness@gmail.com. No, I don't have my own domain. It just never appealed to me. People say, oh, you definitely need one. And then I know a few YouTubers who have websites, and I don't see the point. Like, I know it's not super expensive, but it's also work.
If things are not in the same place, he can't keep up.
I just can't be bothered. I'm very, very bad. I should have fixed my fucking merch store. Like, there's actual money that people wanted to throw at me and they can't because I haven't fixed the merch store, and it's been months. And I'll get to it eventually, but it's like I am that meme. So when you ask your partner to do that thing, he'll get round to it in 6 months. Like, he's gonna do it. Yeah. Surely if Liquid Death was water, they should at least make it H2O2. I'm not sure what that is. That's probably a cleverer joke than my brain is allowing me to know. If Liquid Death doesn't kill you, what's the point? Is it liquid, though? So it's like 50% true. And if someone died while drinking it, I mean, someone's got to have. Have to upgrade our Sir Sick cosplay. New graphics, Mrs. Sick. I mean, the main Sir Sick hasn't changed.
H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide.
Ah, okay. That's pretty good. It will kill you if you drown in it. I mean, most things will kill you if you drown in them. That's why it's called drowning. You could drown in lava. It's probably not the lava that's gonna... It's probably not the drowning that's gonna kill you, but technically speaking, Liquid Death is just a clever marketing tactic. I mean, we dinks are talking about it. We are, but I don't know. I find that I have the least amount of interest in any product that people just talk about.
There's a difference between talking...
Unless it's something that works.
There is a difference between talking about it and promoting it, though.
Yeah. I mean, we are mostly making fun of it for being trash. And I guess if one person tries it, they win. So none of you better fucking try it.
Oh, it's dirty water. Don't do it. It's
No.
a game of bathwater.
Yeah. Actually, to be fair, that will make some of them buy it. That only works in American wrestling. What does? Brazil, the movie, depicted liquid death. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. I'm sure lots of things that start with H2 and then a bunch of other letters and numbers are things that are dangerous. I mean, it's why the, you know, when people say, oh, McDonald's cheese or American cheese, it's almost plastic. It's just a few chemicals away from being plastic. So is fucking everything. That's how chemicals work. Everything is a few chemicals away from bringing something else. Otherwise, chemistry wouldn't be a thing. Someone said that to me once, and back when I was a little less skeptical, I still thought it sounded dumb. But they went, "Yeah, McDonald's cheese, it's basically like 2 chemicals away from being plastic." And I almost thought that was a convincing point. And then I thought about it and then went, wait a minute.
But it's not really technically cheese, is it?
It's not cheese in the same way that cheddar is cheese, no.
Yeah. So it's not really cheese.
No, but it's also like, not plastic.
Is it like a cheese substitute or something?
I don't know. There's lots of rules about what gets to be called what thing or another. What thing? One thing or another.
Oh God, I love Wensleydale cheese.
Sursic bathwater X price, Mississippi bathwater Y price, Sursic Mississippi shed bathwater Z price, and that's how
we wouldn't fit in the bath together.
Yeah, one of us is too fat. It's me. You
have to like fold yourself because you're so long as well.
I don't have to. I'm very long. I can get in the bath. I'm not too big for my bath, and it's a pretty small bath, to be honest.
It's pretty small.
And I can still fit in that. It's just not the best. I would like a better bath. It would be good. Can I pay you to throw out the bathwater? Are you saying that if I ever have the idea of selling Sursic bathwater, that you'll give me money not to sell it? I mean, that's a fair and interesting business model.
If we like found a spring like somewhere and we could actually own the land and own the rights to it, and it was like really good water and stuff, I would probably sell that as your bathwater.
I don't know. People would be weirded out by the fact that it comes and it's not whiskey. Sursic is long. Are you Mauler in disguise? No. Not sure. Don't sell bathwater prepayment. Fair enough.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say that I've never even considered it, but now, obviously, since you've given me money, I have to now consider it and decide whether or not I'm not going to do it. Slightly on topic. During downtime at work, we started Googling random weird foods, and whale cheese is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Now, is it made from whale, or is it made from whale milk? I guess they have mammary glands. They are mammals.
It's whale milk.
Ah, I was going to go next with cum.
I don't know who went round milking whales, to be honest.
Whale milker is a hell of a job title, and a hell of a job, probably. I mean, you see those fucking little things they've got on cows that give them a good old nip suck, but I guess a much, much bigger version of that.
One of my favourite.
Never even considered whale nipples.
One of my favourite facts about whales is that when they're sleeping, they go near towards the surface because obviously they need to breathe.
Yeah. And
they look like they're just dead on the surface, like a fish would be in a fish tank.
Right.
They're so massive. It's really unsettling to see something so huge just floating around. I
guess it just looks like an island.
If you go up to them and poke them hard enough, they'll wake up.
Whale wanking. I mean, how else do you get the sperm for the cheese? I'm amazed that no celebrities are selling their used toilet paper.
Sperm whale cheese.
I don't think I ever got an answer for the Tushy product. Everyone got obsessed with Liquid Death because it sounded more interesting. Well, I'm more interested in something.
What's Tushy product?
I don't know. They said Liquid Death. The only products they bought are Liquid Death and something about Tushies. And I want to know what the Tushy thing is. Hello, Tushy is a bidet. Okay. I guess that works well enough. Well, there goes lunch. Sperm whales sleep vertically in groups. It's really spooky. And
I think that's cute.
I don't know. I guess if you're in the water and you're like a prey for them.
Oh, what is it called now?
I don't know if they're
thalassophobia, where you have a fear of the depths of like usually water.
Oh, I thought it was fear of unerect penises.
What?
It sounds like flaccid.
Th.
Oh,
Not
th. Oh, I forgot. Mrs. Sick can't pronounce her ths. She says f, and it always confuses me. Every single time any word is that, I think it's the other one.
No, not flaccid phobia.
I mean, the fear of unerect penises.
Oh my god, it's there again.
Eat more fish, it's good for the brain. I do eat a reasonable amount of fish. I mostly can't because I make food for me and Mrs. Sick, and if she won't eat it, then I don't get to eat it. It's why I don't eat as many oranges as I used to. Well, that's mostly because it gives her asthma attacks. And funnily enough, I don't actually want to kill her. But yeah, she doesn't like fish either. Only salmon, and that shit is fucking expensive. The Cersic bidet would be the first sanitary device that operates 6,000 litres a minute. What? Why? Is it to fire... I don't know. I don't know if a bidet would be powerful enough to fire whiskey up your asshole.
Oh god, can you imagine like a setting on it? It was like a fire hose.
Just a bidet for your house. The house catches on fire. Went to Belgium on Saturday, walked around Bruges for 4 hours, purchased chocolate before visiting the Torture Museum, which is a real place. Well, yeah, of course it's a real place. Who wouldn't have a torture museum next to their chocolate shops?
I like museums, so I'd probably visit that.
Mrs. Sick thinks I don't like museums. What she doesn't understand is I just do museums on turbo mode.
Yeah, and it's annoying.
We eventually figured that out. As like, she thought I was just bored, but what I was done. She would like slowly, meticulously look at every single thing, and I would do the same, just way faster. I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, next bit. And she's like, at the last exhibit. Yeah, I do get bored when I've done doing that. And that's why it appears like museums bore me, because you just can't keep up with my museum game.
It's a museum speed run.
Yeah, basically. Second channel idea, speed running museums. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, bye. These like 5-minute long videos of massive museums fucking running.
You're going around looking at stuff but not actually reading any of the information that's there. I find that weird.
Who says I don't read the information?
Because most of the time you don't. You just look at it and then walk away.
If I can't figure out what it is, I read the information. If I can look at it and go, oh, I know what that is, then I go.
Oh, right, okay.
It's only...
Do you undress exhibits with your eyes?
Only
the Egyptian ones.
No, I was trying to think of something funnier than that.
I really like to spend a long time in the Egyptian areas.
Oh, I fucking wonder why. Oh, I wonder why that is. Chat, what could that be? Do you know? I don't think any of us could possibly figure that one out. Am I being sarcastic? Need to have a stopwatch timer display the entire time in the corner too, so people know how well you're doing. Do I have to redo museums to see if I can get a better time?
You just redo it to up your score.
Yeah. What's the...
Thing is, you have to be quizzed at the end to see if you actually retained any of the information.
All the answers will be museum. What was in this bit? Museum stuff. It took the 3.7 billion years to get where we are today. So it can breeze through that in under 20 minutes. Pretty much. I mean, to be fair, the majority of the universe... Well, the majority of the Earth being is like pretty samey. Like, yeah, there's a few big events, but most of the time, the same shit just happened over and over and over again. Imagine watching Cersei sliding home at the exit of the museum. Well, I like that would be the way to speedrun it. It has to be like 5 minutes before it closes. Like the shutters are going down. I have to power slide underneath them. Perfect. Egyptians were the best nose pickers. They really put their brains into it. Oof.
That's funny. I like that.
Sessic tool-assisted speedrunner museums. I assume it would just be you driving a car through groups of people around exhibits. I mean, I don't have a driving license, so that would be definitely way more fun in that regards. Lots and lots of unicellular life, making the same unicellular life for billions of years. Yeah, basically. Most of, Earth's history is not that interesting. I mean, it is from a figuring it out perspective, but I imagine being there was like, okay, yeah. Unless, of course, you believe in some sort of religious model where it was very, very wild. People popping things into existence and getting really pissy with each other. Worst tasting cheese. I don't know. I'm sure that there's plenty of cheeses that are fucking disgusting. I've never been a particular fan of blue cheese, although I feel like one of those that I figured out that one of the reasons that old people tend to like more and more disgusting tasting things is because their fucking taste buds just die. That's why boiled sweets are such a popular thing with very old people. And so I imagine as you get older, it's just anything you can taste becomes more and more of a thing.
No, you mean like me?
I mean, basically. God, when you're old, you're not going to be able to taste anything.
Probably not.
That's going to suck. Formund is the worst. Cheese is the worst. I don't know. I haven't really tasted a cheese that I've looked at and gone, that looks gross. I just haven't tasted it. If I can smell it from a distance and I'm not keen on the smell. I mean, Stilton doesn't smell right. It smells like wrong. Some people love it, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't fucking exist. But all cheese has mites in it. Yeah, I know that the concept of cheese is still gross, but like the cheeses I like are really fucking tasty. I imagine the mites help. Head cheese is the absolute worst. It's not cheese. What is head cheese? I've heard that before. I've known that it was a thing.
Dandruff.
That's kind of the thing that goes in my brain. I think knob cheese. That goes, the crustiness from under the edge of a penis that has not been cleaned properly.
What the
Formund
fuck?
is just cheese from under my foreskin.
Is that actually a thing?
Men with incredibly filthy penises, yes. That is a thing that exists.
Fucking hell, clean your bits.
I've heard some tales from women who've been with men who are unhygienic, and like I don't consider myself like the world's cleanest human or a human at all, but you know what I mean. And I've never had that problem. Like, if I know I'm going on a date, I wash my genitals extra good. That's always been the case. A clit can have smegma. Fantastic.
Smegma is a funny word.
Anyone else see Quiet Place Day 1? No, but I've heard it's pretty okay.
Quiet Place. I think I've watched that.
No, you haven't watched Quiet Place Day 1 that just came out in cinemas.
Oh no,
It's literally called Day 1.
Okay,
because...
no, I watched Quiet Place.
Yeah. 3.7 is pretty much all you will find in a museum. That was the point I was after. No shitting on what came before. Just never seen anything more than a blurb at the front door. Yeah. There is the Italian maggot cheese. Now, are the maggots Italian, or is the cheese Italian, or is it both? What?
I didn't realise that maggots could have a nationality.
Of course they can. There are plenty of creatures that come from a particular area. Jungle fungal. Unhygienic women are pretty bad as well. Unhygienic people are pretty bad, especially when stuff falls off of them.
Oh god. Very crusty humans.
Yes. Crustiness on a prospective lover. I've never experienced that myself, thank fuck. But I can't imagine maggots offended in Italian. It's an Italian cheese that comes with maggots in it. Okay, but where are the maggots from? Yeah, I don't imagine Italy imports maggots from other countries just to make cheese. I don't know if they're pretty good maggots. I only eat the Italian cheese with French maggots, you heathen. I mean, someone out there. Also, the word maggot is just one of those things that the guy or gal or whoever came up with maggot just knew what they were doing. It just... Nothing about that word, maggot. It's very harsh. Maggots, fuck you. Oh, God. Italian maggots, and it's one of the few banned cheeses. I can fucking imagine. Mostly because if you put that in a sealed packet and try to send it somewhere, if that packet breaks, they've just got a fucking hole full of maggots, which just isn't ideal. Oh. I once found a sandwich that looked perfectly fine and just on a plate somewhere. And I thought, that's weird to see a sandwich in this random location. And then I picked up the sandwich, which was hard. It was crusty. And I oh. And then underneath it was shitloads of maggots. And so thanks for reminding me of that. That was not an experience of joy. Well, I would call that dick cheese, and head cheese is made from boiled pig brains, liquefied organs, chunks of cheddar cheese, and pasta shapes. Canadian food is fucked up.
Apparently,
What?
maggot used to mean something whimsical or fanciful.
I've never considered maggots to be fancy or whimsy. If anything, they're just kind of gross.
It was a it says it's derived from a folk belief.
What is that folk belief? Don't fall. Oh, that's the one. Okay. I hate it when you see a dead mouse and you think it's just lying there wiggling, but then you realise maggots. Oh my god. Oof. In
terms of like, apparently it was something to do with like when people were hallucinating.
Okay.
It became associated
from eating too much maggots. I don't know.
It was related to people having a brain disease, basically. And then it changed into you have worms in your brain, and then it got turned into maggot, as in like the fly thing.
I guess if people thought you had maggots in your brain, I guess.
Oh no, if that was 17th century. 15th century was early. Yeah, it's always been a larva. Okay. Sorry, I like entomology.
A robot in South Korea committed suicide by throwing itself off some stairs. Are you sure that it wasn't just a bit shit? I mean, I have lots of videos of robots falling over. They do seem to do it a lot.
God's sake, you're obsessed with those. I
know, they're funny. I just like to hear people say about the robot apocalypse, and then I'm just like, as they fucking fall over. I made that into a clip. It was very funny. They sell it in loaf form. My sisters and I believe that our grandma hated us every time we found it in a sandwich. It's the smell that gives it away. Oh. Yeah, that's just... Of all the things to feed someone, what really gets me is you'll often have... there's old people food. It's usually like war food. And for some reason they think everybody else should like it.
Like my granddad.
like fucking tripe.
Yeah, my granddad liked tripe.
And even Spam is pretty gross.
Oh, he really likes Spam too.
Yeah. And that's the one that, like, if I had to, I could eat. But I'm not sure I could. I think I might starve instead of eating tripe, I'll be honest. Because it's fucking disgusting. Robots fear nuclear war. I mean, that's true.
I think partly because it became significantly cheaper after the war, when things of better quality was in production.
Did you see that pink fleshy face robot thing that has expression? It's utterly terrifying. I did see that.
Is that, you mean Sophia?
No. It's like a splodgy pink pile of. It's actually organic tissue apparently.
Oh, cool.
It's really weird. It's like super bright pink and shiny, and it's kind of gross.
Is it like a flayed human?
No, I mean unless you mince them down and put them back on. When you think about it really hard, it's fucking weird. Spam. I mean, to be honest, it looks more like Spam, but like a worse version from a dystopian future. Oh.
You mean like insect bars?
Yeah, I guess. They used to think toothaches were caused by tooth worms. Those are the nerves and blood vessels. Yeah.
They thought worms caused a lot of things. They thought people who had blackheads, and when the blackheads popped, and obviously like the gunk comes out of your face, they thought that was worms.
Yeah. I mean, thinking of that, like the modern fucking pseudoscientist thinks that everything that comes out of your body that's stringy is some kind of worm.
Yeah, true, they do. They think it's a parasite, yeah.
I mean, to be fair...
Or toxins, in quotes.
Anything that was believed until medicine was actually starting to get good, all of that is fair game and must have actually been true to your fucking prototypical moron. Seriously, dude, never been fishing in winter. Put the maggot in your mouth to warm it. OP swallowed a few, comes out like spam. Oh my god. Okay, thank you for that. I'm just not going to go ice fishing, to be honest. That sounds like the plan for that.
They sell like jars full of maggots by the seaside. Yeah. And they're meant for people to fish, but they also sell them as snacks to people.
I'm sorry, I like this. When my grandparents moved, we found a can of Spam from World War II in their pantry. Oh no, it's not necessarily Spam, just a can from World War II, sorry. I read too much into that. When we picked it up, the bottom stayed on the shelf. What was the contents like? Did it just fall out? Or was it like a solid lump that had dried out or something like that? I'm genuinely curious. Although I can't imagine the smell was great.
Oh god, no.
What goes in your stomach? Another stomach! You have all sorts of bugs and worms inside. I am well aware, but that doesn't mean that everything you find that comes out of a person is bugs and worms. Most of them are indistinguishable from nothing. Jaws full of maggots. I mean...
It's like you wouldn't...
Maggots instead of teeth is a pretty good horror monster concept.
I was about to tell the kids one time about mites that live on your face.
Yeah, and then you thought better of it.
No, you told me to stop. You went, don't tell them that.
It'd freak them out. At least at that point. Have either of you had haggis? I have many times.
No.
It's all right. Like it's like slightly spicy meat, and yeah, it's cooked in a stomach, but some of them aren't. Like they're not proper haggises; they're sort of faux haggises, and they're just cooked in a packaging.
Most of the food I've eaten since I was like probably about 10 years old is spicy food. So
slugs taste like shit, Sessig. Yes, and they're also poisonous, or at least a lot of them are poisonous. Eating slugs is like really fucking bad for people.
Yeah, are they like toxic or something?
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, I'm starting to lean towards merging with the AI. I watched the debate down south and our leaders debating, and well, I started to think it's the only same option. You're just going to become AI. I mean, I just ignore most of that shit these days. Like, they're either going to blow up the planet or they're not, and I'm just... I don't think there's anything I can do about it except for constantly make fun of its stupid people in the hopes that they eventually either stop being stupid or they go away. Didn't some kid die after eating a slug on a bet? I mean, that sounds like a classic, did you hear about that one kid story? But it's not impossible. I know that they're very bad for you. Someone got a parasite after eating a raw slug. Remember, cook your food no matter what it is. Unless you're one of those fucking people who eats everything raw. And then a bunch of people will come into the comments going, but steak tartare. And I go, that's still fucking gross.
Unfortunately, that story's true.
Hooray. We have banana slugs in California. They reach up to a foot long and bright yellow. And God forbid you fucking confuse the two. Why is this banana so wriggly and difficult to peel? Oh, I made myself feel sick, and I already am full. That's not a fun experience. Do you think Ken Ham's beard does a good job covering up his cystic acne scarring? Why would that matter?
I have cystic acne scarring.
Yeah. That's not something he can help. If it could cover up his shit opinions and his stupid ideas, that'd be something worth celebrating. If he wants to have a beard to cover up something, then that's fine. I'm very much against making fun of people for how they look. That's almost certainly not something that can help. I literally no
control over my hormones. It just happens to me.
Like that kid that ate all the blue Smarties and died. They went to a different school. You can't eat all the blue. Eating a single colour of Smarties is fatal. That's a fact. What? I'm being sarcastic, dear.
All right, I'm curious to see how... Right, when you got your Smarties...
Yeah.
Did you separate them into different colours?
I would very deliberately pick the colours I ate, and usually I would whittle them down to being collections of colours.
I put them all into separate coloured piles.
No, I would start by just eating them, and then eventually, when it was whittled down to like 4 a piece, then I'd eat them, the last few, in colour order, or all as great big jump, or as many other things.
I would eat them
anything that was a game.
I would pile them into different quadrants of different colours, and then I would eat one colour each until they were... this is a very autism thing, but yeah, I don't know. I've always done it. It's just that's how you eat them. But me and my sister both did it.
One of my favourite stupid, it's a Family Guy joke, and it's a Brian's a dog joke, and he goes, I told them not to give me any grey M&Ms. These are all grey.
I eat all my Smarties all at once. You absolute mad lad. Why would you do that?
I have once in my life taken the tube, poured it into the air, and let all of them fall into my mouth. I didn't do that again. It wasn't as pleasant an experience as I was hoping. I'm colourblind, so I just chug them like a newly discovered whiskey stash. Fair. I've been trying to watch you with my third eye. My brother got very angry and told me to stop moaning the TV and put clothes on. Do you mean moving the TV? Because moaning the TV is a very different thing. The original red colouring in Frankenberry made people think their kids were shitting blood. That's like, what is it? Radishes. Is it radishes?
Beetroots.
Beetroots, sorry. Beetroots. You're like, oh my god. Oh wait, I had beetroots. Hans Wormhat sounds like a troll. He does until you look through all of his content and realize he's earnest. He's just fucking ridiculous. I do find it very, very annoying when people tell me X person is a troll and they're 100% sure. And then I say, well, have you checked out their content? And they go, no, I just know he is. It's like, do you know how fucking annoying I find it when people think that their opinions are facts? I made a channel about it. Stop it. Don't be fucking wrong at me. It's annoying. I love matcha Kit Kats. The Biscoff one is really nice. I think we went to Italy. Me and my brother went to Italy to ski. And for some reason they had this shop and it had just a million different flavours of fucking Kit Kats in it. It was ridiculous. We hadn't seen anything like it. In the UK, if you get a special one, it's like once in a blue moon.
Everyone's mind's blown when they get a white Kit Kat.
And then they stop doing it, and everyone's just like, oh, thanks. I think in Japan they have a shitload of different ones as well, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, Italy had a lot of different flavours, and I'm like, fucking rip off Britain and also shit Britain. I think Hans just found a niche in being a contrarian for money and has perfected it in to say everything's fake. I don't think he makes any money. I think he makes $0 doing what he does. I think he just believes it. I think being a contrarian is more of a personality. He thinks that being contrary makes him interesting. And I think he makes himself believe ridiculous things because he thinks it makes him interesting. Or it makes him magically right. I think a lot of people are like that. A lot of people who just believe ridiculous bullshit. It's a core part of their personality, and that's why they find it so hard to separate from such ridiculous ideas. I think calling people trolls is lazy, like incredibly lazy. There are trolls; they absolutely exist, but they're almost always fly by night. And people who are parodies are, in my experience, really, really obvious and go to great lengths to make sure you know that they're a parody. But there are a lot of people who just believe stupid shit all the time, and it doesn't even make them crazy. Like I've laid out my sort of my standard for whether or not I'd cover someone is if I think that they could defend themselves in a court of law, not necessarily without a fucking attorney, but would they go to a proper court, or would they be considered for insanity and all that shit? And most of the people I covered just wouldn't. They would be fine. They wouldn't be seen as insane. They're perfectly lucid. They're perfectly capable of understanding facts. They just choose to ignore them. Sunk cost fallacy turned up to 11. I mean, a lot of opinions are very important to people. If you find yourself getting emotionally invested in an opinion, especially one that doesn't strictly hurt anybody, there's a good chance it might be wrong. We get that in nearly every post in Facebook Science. There's always at least one comment saying, has to be a troll. Nobody can be this stupid. Have you seen the rest of the posters here? I mean, come on. Yeah, it's just intellect. I think it's genuinely intellectually lazy, and someone who's just not interested in thinking about it. And also, they're just anti-fun, in my opinion. Like, how boring is the world if everybody who says something ridiculous is just pretending? Like, there's a lot of people in this world who must be pretending constantly. Hans has a lot of videos in which he talks about people having reverse skeletons, and I think it's the funniest thing ever to me. I've also heard him say having a long torso makes him manly.
What?
You've got to send me some of these. They sound pretty fucking hilarious. Searching Hans's content for genuinely funny videos is actually quite hard work, because a lot of what he does is he just fucking talks about the Bible, and then someone in his comments will say, I really appreciate your content, but you have to swear. And I'm like, oh god, you people are fucking pathetic. If someone saying the fuck word bothers you, I think you should not... No, I can't say that. I think you should get the fuck over yourself. Do you think Roger really believes in those giant dragons? Yes. I think he thinks he's found something. And I think his audience convince him further. If he never grew an audience, I don't think he'd be half as fucking stupid as he is now. His being told how right you are. There's a thing about famous people, is that they're often really vapid because no one tells them no. So they come up with the fucking classic one is that guy who's doing the rounds at the moment. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but you all know him. 1 × 1 is 2. Fucking stupidest
Terrence
thing.
Howard.
He probably had a good amount of money and a bunch of people who weren't going, Terrence, fuck is wrong with you, you fucking idiot. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And them going, oh shit, yeah, you might have a point. That probably just didn't happen. Yeah. It's not good. It fucks with you. Being told you're right all the time is really bad for your brain. That's why I constantly say stupid things to make sure people point out. It's not because I'm actually stupid. I'm doing it to keep myself humble, you see? That this isn't cope. Question for you. Is CC really from Westchester County, New York? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I've heard a lot of people from Westchester County go, oh, God. I know this guy. I've seen him. Or I know whereabouts he lives. Oof. Knives out, glass onion syndrome. I mean, effectively, it's just... There was something that made me laugh the other day. So, why are billionaires so worried about losing all their money? Wouldn't they just earn it all back with their superhuman hard work? And not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking funny. I could buy Twitter and make it better, even though he's socially awkward at best and knows nothing about social networks. Rich people will do rich people thing. You just got to ignore them. Don't let it bother you. Laugh at them if people do stupid things. It's the best social currency for dealing with morons.
Wasn't there a thing where there was this guy who said, like, he found out that his son stole from a shop, and he made him wear a plaque in front of the road where the shop was, saying that I'm a thief and this is my punishment.
Right.
And it was just to try and humiliate him, because the dad thought humiliation was a better deterrent than like just doing normal punishments, and apparently it worked really well.
I can imagine that it will work for some people. It all depends.
I don't know. I think some would just get resentment out of it.
Yeah. You just... Not everything can cure everything. It's like... what annoys me is when people get mad at me for making fun. And they say, oh, you have to do it like this. I said, but that doesn't work for some people. In fact, explaining in simple, basic terms how things work, for some people, that just proves that you're lying.
Oh, I would never do public shaming with my kids. God, no.
Well, they wouldn't need it.
Well, no, our kids are just rule-bound, really, really harshly and by nature, so...
I mean, public shaming is a bit much, but it also depends on the crime. Like, there's certain things that if your kid did... If our kids ever, like, beat the shit out of someone, not that I ever expect them to,
God, no.
but I don't know what the fuck I'd do to correct that. I'd be mortified.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be absolutely fucking devastated, and the punishment would be, I don't want to say cruel and unusual because, you know, Geneva Convention, but it would be big, it would be memorable, it would make, as best as I can, damn sure they never did something so fucking disgusting again. I mean, bullying to me is like a big fucking deal, and from either direction, it's ridiculous. Like, it's the kids are going to be moving into big school in a relatively short amount of time, and it's like a big worry to think, what if some shithead kid starts acting like a shithead towards my kid? And I'm not allowed to beat up other people's children, apparently. But I'm not going to say I wouldn't want to if I found out some fucking asshole was, like, hurting my kid. And I'd feel almost exactly the same way if they started hurting other people's kids. I'd make them watch spirit science videos.
No!
I wanted to punish them. I didn't want to fucking kill them.
Traumatize them for life.
Or make them stupid. Trying to make them smarter, not more dumb. My ex-girlfriend would tell all my current girlfriends about how terrible I was in bed. The snoring, I can't stop, so now I stop looking for dates. Oof.
I don't know. I like sick snoring. I find it very comforting.
I don't like your snoring. It's really noisy. When she doesn't always snore, but when she does...
Good job I fall asleep first, then.
Yeah. No. That's not good. You're only in trouble if you get caught. What if your children liked Roger's videos? Then I'd have to disown them, wouldn't I? You'll be sleeping outside with the giants.
One thing that we've sort of tried to encourage them is to question things before instantly going, oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it seems to have worked. They go, blah, 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 said this today, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, the critical thinking skills are slowly improving.
I heard Arnie used to punish his kids by making them watch Red Sonja. I don't know if that... I assume that's a film. I assume that's one of his films and it's a bad one. Red Sonja's not that bad. I don't know.
I can't say I've seen that one.
I've taken to referring American Christians as Bible shaggers to really wind them up. Depends if you want to wind them up, I suppose. If you want to have a reasonable dialogue with someone, that's probably not a great way to start. It's one of the things that really fucking annoys me is someone will come at me like full guns blazing, so I'll just take the piss out of them back, and then they'll keep on arguing, and eventually they'll get to a point where they'll act like they came in with good faith arguments. Oh, and I'm like, and I'll just show them the first thing they said, which is them just being an absolute shithead. I'm like, stop lying. Stop fucking lying to me. It's really annoying. I can read all the fucking previous things we've said. Don't pretend like you're anything other than a shithead. We're both shitheads here, but you're a lying shithead. And that's way worse in my opinion. It's absolutely his worst film. Gold only has any value because we imbue it with value. It's a rock, a shiny rock. It has certain values. It has properties that are useful, but it wasn't that useful when we first discovered it. It was mostly just pretty.
Oh, shiny.
I mean, it is the luster is like very appealing. Like, you can't deny that, like, a room filled with gold is kind of impressive if it's, like, really looked after. Yeah, I know. My sister recently had surgery and found herself in the house alone. She was terrified that someone would come in and kill her because it happens on TV. I mean, we all have moments like that.
Irrational anxiety can't be helped.
No. It's one of those things... It's one of my arguments against...
The only thing you can do is slowly coax her around to a more rational anxiety about it.
But it's one of my arguments against, you can feel, that feeling you get. And you think about God and you're like, oh, could I be wrong? That's God telling you. And it's like, no, that's fucking stupid. I also, I've had, I've thought about things. I've had ideas and I've considered things. And sometimes my brain will tell me one thing that's not true, but it tells me lots of things that are not true. It tells me that there are people waiting in the dark to attack me. They're not fucking there.
Yeah, your anxiety tells you the most wildest things.
Yeah. I mean, having an anxiety disorder is fun. I saw someone on probably Twitter say that anxiety is just sin. I was like, oh, thanks you. So, fuck you, buddy. My philosophy, if it isn't Baroque, don't fix it. There needs to be more to that joke. There's a joke there, and I can see it being very funny. But, yeah. What is the feeling is that God isn't real? Is that God telling me he doesn't exist? I mean, that's the other one, isn't it? I mean, I assume that theist people sometimes think, oh, God doesn't exist? And they have feelings about it. As well as people who don't believe in God probably sometimes feel that God does exist, maybe, and are they wrong about it? Like, everybody thinks they might be wrong about all the things all the times, unless they're fucking stupid.
That's just humans. We have a question in nature.
If you never think, oh God, am I wrong about this? You're probably not as smart as you think you are. I've seen some people. Someone got mad at me once because I said it was okay. I wasn't bothered that I didn't know everything, and he said, "Oh, I find that really annoying because usually I know everything, and when something is beyond me, I get really mad." I said, "I bet you know half as much as you think you do, and I bet that half isn't as good as you think it is." arrogance rarely comes from a place of intellect. It sometimes does, but the really smart people don't express that. If you're smart enough not to be embarrassing, cugging Dunning. Those of you who claim to know everything really know those of us who do. Fuck you. I love not knowing stuff. It means there's more to learn. Exactly. Not knowing something, especially when something's quite interesting and then you find out like it's really big. That's really cool.
I love that. That's my favourite bit. It's like, oh, I wonder about this thing. And then it just opens up all these doors and you're like, ooh, more things to look at.
I think that is, like, to spend the last 5 minutes talking about Vimy James, because I'm going to be playing it as soon as we're done. Fucking FromSoft games are exactly that. And the fucking Elden Ring is like, oh, there's so much more to this world than I thought. Like, if you haven't played Elden Ring and you were vaguely interested in it, that is its best trick, is to be bigger than you think it is. Even when you think you know how big it is, it's bigger than that. It's just fucking... It's a really good trick. And they pull it off kind of as well, but not quite as well in the DLC, which I haven't beaten yet, but I'm having a lot of fun with. Because it keeps going. I found the end boss before I found half of the map.
What a potty mouth. Try living with him, Jesus.
What did I say this time?
I don't know.
Was it fuck?
He says that a lot.
Or was it shit?
That's like his commas.
Was it arse? Eat more vegetables, don't elect them. Okay. Can I just say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, fuck Mesmer, the big cheating bastard. He was a bit of a bitch. I eventually... I was playing a dual katana bleed build, and that fucking DLC is too hard for that way of playing and not being as good as I used to be with it. I eventually moved to a big fucking shield and a big fucking katana, and now I'm mostly melting areas without as much, in fact, anywhere near as much difficulty, because I can actually take a combo to the face without immediately dying and having to learn dodge timings from hell. So if you're not running something with a shield, fucking respec into a big shield. Oh my god, it changed everything. I might redo the katana thing when I play through it again, because I fucking will. Probably on Seamless Co-op with Mrs. Sick, because she's been quite interested to play it again. But yeah.
I'm terrible at game though.
Mage Dex build is still good. I just think, at least for now, until I get way better at it, I'd watch you stream Elden Ring. I did consider playing it, and then I couldn't be asked setting it up. But yeah, a shield really helps just not dying immediately. Running Faith, I'm dying a lot. An embarrassing amount of death is happening. Big shield! If you can, get the fucking fingerprint shield, because that thing is fucking ridiculous. You could just tank combo after combo to the face. It's great. Anyway, we've got a minute left, and I want to go play Vimy James. So, it is a full minute left, so I won't fuck off immediately. But Faith manages you into an early grave.
Gravy, gravy, gravy.
Always vote for the person who is not running. So you should all vote for me. I don't know what in, but you should do it.
Oh, please don't.
What's that? You know you can't vote people into an office they haven't applied for, right?
You just get it in the post and you're like, oh shit.
I'm Prime Minister again. I don't want to be Prime Minister. Is it like getting fucking jury duty? You have to run the country for 5 years. I don't want to do another election. That's how you get another election. Vote Sick 2024. Whiskey for only him. That is the entire platform I would run on. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.